All right, so next we're going to go on to the World Heavyweight Championship match, and this is Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger, and I am actually looking forward to a Jack Swagger match, which is insane to me.
I know, that's surprising to think about.
A year ago, he was a nobody. Like, I looked at him and I made fun of his lisp, his hair, how terrible he was. Like, there was nothing I liked about him, and now I kind of like his character.
Yeah, I like how they kind of repackaged him and everything. There's two scenarios I think. I think if Dolph is not going to cash in, I think Alberto will win it.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I think Jack has to win if Dolph is going to cash in.
Absolutely. So, it's written. It's poetry from their previous encounters and things like that.
Right.
And what better way to have somebody lose it than to someone else who's cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase? Like that.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
It writes itself.
It honestly does, and if they don't do it, we need to take over for them.
Well, we're well past that point about what they should do versus what they do nowadays. But
I do think this is going to be a good match. I really hope it turns out well, and I hope it's as good as it could live up to. I want Ziggler to cash in, but I don't know if this is the right thing. We'll talk about that next, which is the WWE Championship versus it's Rock versus Cena. I mean, we all know what's going to happen here. Like, it's going to be
pretty safe to say.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be Cena.
Obviously, it's going to be a great match.
Oh, hands down.
Of course, yeah, it's going to be Cena. Like, period. But I don't want Rock to keep the title by any means. But if Cena wins, that means most likely next WrestleMania is probably going to be Cena Rock 3, the rubber match. You know what I mean? Rock 1-1, Cena 1-1, and I'd bet money that Rock is going to come back for Rock Cena 3 if that happens.
I would 100% guarantee that's going to happen.
The
Rock, it's who he is. He just wants to be here for the big moments.
It's a lose-lose situation almost because if Rock wins, okay, you still have your title on a part-timer who can't be there all the time, and if Cena wins, you pretty much know what next year's WrestleMania main event is.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
So back to what I was talking about with Dolph Ziggler. They ended the brand extension officially, so I'm hoping my ideal picture with this is that Dolph Ziggler cashes in on Cena and uses Ryback to get it. Because I feel like he's too good for the World Championship, and I think having him as a heel with the WWE Championship is going to be good, especially if they're talking about giving CM Punk some time off, which is the next match I want to talk about.
In a perfect world, I would love that.
Yeah.
I can't. Obviously, I can't see that happening by any means. Do I think it should happen? Absolutely. That would be absolutely amazing, and it would be something that nobody expected. And I mean, I would literally go balls deep, all out at that, like in that arena. I'd be hugging people.
Busting all kinds of nuts.
Busting all kinds of nuts if Dolph cashed in on Cena. But
yeah, I don't think it'll happen. It would be nice.
Probably not.
But we're gonna go to Triple H versus Brock Lesnar because this is another one of those kind of barn burner matches they're hoping for.
Yeah.
I mean, so the stipulation is no holds barred, number one, and if Triple H retires if Lesnar wins. I mean, it's like a WrestleMania of disappointments. Every time I bring up the match, you're just like,
I'm not mad at the match. I think it's going to be a really good match because it's no holds barred, and when Brock is like in that zone where he can just mess people up, those matches can be pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like adding the stipulation about Triple H is like an unnecessary way to make the match bigger than it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because okay, Brock comes back, he automatically targets Triple H, or vice versa, or however it worked. I don't remember at this point. I don't know. Like, I think Triple H will win. I want to say mostly because, like I said before, this is kind of like the redemption pay-per-view, and I think they're going to put a lot of people over who are on their road to redemption, like Cena and Triple H and Big Show, Orton, and Sheamus. You know what I mean? Like people who have been getting knocked down for a while. This is going to be the WrestleMania where they come out as the winner.
I think you've got a good point there. Like in my head, I feel like Brock Lesnar has the bigger chance to win because it's a way to get Triple H off TV more permanently.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you're absolutely right. It's the redemption pay-per-view. Everybody was shocked when Triple H didn't win at SummerSlam.
Right.
So this has to be the one he wins, or else the feud was pointless. All right. Final match, the match that everyone really looks forward to at WrestleMania. Fuck all this other shit.
Dude.
But it's The Undertaker versus CM Punk, and I am so amped for this match.
I cannot explain to you. Like, this is literally, I don't want to say it's the only match I care about. The other matches are going to be good, most of them for the most part. But honestly, like, this is my WrestleMania moment. Like, I'm going to be sitting at WrestleMania. I'm going to look around and I'm going to say, CM Punk, probably the greatest wrestler we've seen in a very, very long time, and probably the best thing that's happened to wrestling in a long time, versus one of the absolute legendary, iconic figure that cannot be, destroyed in any way, shape, or form. And that's my WrestleMania moment right there. Like, I'm gonna be like, yo, remember 20 years ago when I was at WrestleMania and I saw CM Punk? Like, this is a big deal to me. This is definitely a big deal to me. And people are not gonna like what I have to say about this, but go ahead.
I totally understand where you're coming from. I love CM Punk. CM Punk is one of the reasons I started watching wrestling on a regular basis. His character, the person he is, the way he wrestles, the moves he uses, everything about it screams out to me, and my childhood, my love of wrestling. But it's the same thing with The Undertaker. Undertaker's always been there, regardless of what he did, and I don't know how I feel about the match, because I already feel like I think CM Punk's going to lose when I don't want him to, but I also don't want Undertaker to lose his streak.
A lot of people might not like what I have to say about this, but in my mind, everything that CM Punk did for this company for the past year, he carried them on his back for the entire last year. Champion for 430, 40, however many days. And then they make him lose it to a part-timer. They give him Undertaker kind of as a consolation prize, which is still a huge deal. But it's like, okay, you lose the title. Okay, here you go. You can fight the Undertaker. Honestly, I think he deserves to win this match. I think everything that he's done for this company for the past year and a half, I think they kind of owe it to him to let him be the one who breaks the streak, in my opinion. I don't want the streak to end necessarily. Like, I'm a big fan of the streak. Right. The only person I really thought might end it was Shawn, the first time they fought.
Right.
But I don't, like, honestly, I don't, and like, I'm going to say it again, like this whole redemption thing about how, obviously Paul Bearer died and CM Punk is destroying the memory of Paul Bearer. So logically, I would think The Undertaker is going to win and, get redemption for everything that CM Punk has done to Paul Bearer's memory and whatnot. But in my perfect little bubble, I would greatly appreciate if CM Punk won this match. And it would be a huge moment for pro wrestling, for CM Punk, and just imagine how big that would finally be. Someone broke the streak. Like, there's your headline that you can carry for months after WrestleMania.
Not just months, years. That's a career. That's a legend maker for CM Punk.
Yeah.
Like, forget the 430 days as champion. That was amazing. But this is, you're the dude who ended the streak. And it would finally give Undertaker some time away from wrestling. He could be done. Like, it's his swan song moment. And he can finally spend time at home with his hot-ass wife, Michelle McCool, and raise their kid, You know
what? The scenario that I really wish happened, I wish Punk actually had kept the title this whole time, so it could be like a streak versus streak kind of thing. Because now when the title's on the line, people might say, oh, well, Undertaker's not around all the time, so he can't win the title. Like, it would kind of give people more of like an uncertainty of who's going to win if the title was still in the picture. And I think that'd be a great like subline streak versus streak. But then it would have been like 516 however many days versus the WrestleMania streak, and I think that would have made the match a little bit bigger than it is. Unfortunately, they had to use Paul Bearer's death as kind of like the catalyst for their feud, which is it is what it is, I guess, at this point.
It's WWE. That's what they
do. It is what it is. But I think my stamp on this commentary with you and on this whole entire conversation is I think CM Punk deserves to beat The Undertaker.
I can't say that I disagree.
Boom.
All right. That's going to be it, guys. I can't think of anything else to say that's going to add any content to this. So we're going to wrap it up. Do you want to promote any upcoming videos or anything you've done recently?
Just head over to my channel, youtube.com/dankops. Check out what I got. Adam's a good friend of mine. Make sure you guys stay subscribed to him. Watch all his videos. His stuff is great. So,
I appreciate it, man. You'll
it's
get 3 views from me, so.
Well, it was my pleasure, and I hope some of my subs come over and check you out, bro.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming on, and I mean,
No
enjoy
doubt.
WrestleMania, man. I'm
Oh,
jealous
I will,
that
bro.
you'll be there. Maybe take some Vine videos or like some pictures,
I
something like
got you.
that.
No doubt. No doubt. I'll be blowing up Twitter that day.
All right, that's it, guys. Once again, I'm Warpath 2 or Adam, and this has been my WrestleMania predictions.
Peace.